Emmanuel, God is with us. Emmanuel, God is with us. Show you what's in my pot that I'm fertilizing, and I want to show you my single seed challenge because it is in a pot, and this is a bush bean. It's low growing, but it is growing about 2 foot tall. So the tallest one of it is there. And if you look underneath there, you'll see it is a wax bean, Cherokee wax. I got this seed from the dollar store. And I got my first 2 beans there, and the third one on the way. I think tomorrow I will pick those. And let's see, are there any more yet? Not yet, but I know they're coming. It goes all the way up here, and it's actually starting to act like a half bush bean, because as you can see, it's curling around stuff. So that's my single seed challenge, and this is my single seed challenge. This was a bean that I thought was dinky. It's much smaller, and that's the bean that I grew in the ground. That one's just as strong as the one that came through, but I see now it had to deal with some challenges. So it's doing great. Guys, the proof is in the pudding. If you get good seed and place it in good conditions, it does a whole lot better than, say, if you put good seed but the conditions aren't optimal. This bean here, and it's got mature beans on it, is the first to fruit. It's a good deal. Good deal. The leaves on it are twice the width of the leaves on my Blue Lake pole beans. I like more I like the southern style and the Italian style beans, so I like the flat leaf beans, whereas these are the green beans that you get kind of in the grocery store, like the round plump ones. So I crowded a lot of them in here just to see if homegrown green beans of that sort would taste better. So well, it's my second bean harvest, and I don't know if you can tell, but these are actually straight and long. I wonder if I missed these when I picked the others, but I have 2 nice long beans now off this plant for the second harvest, growing in a pot. Yeah, nice on your salad. Now I don't want to show you what else is in there because I got carrots and stuff in there, and they're too small to eat. This is last year's carrot that I let flower so I can get next year's carrot, St. Valerie's carrot. But I got a lot of little seedlings in this pot. I guess I can kind of show you. This is turmeric. This is permanent in this pot. It dies back in the wintertime, comes back summertime. It won't come back before summer. That's the thing, when you have these tropicals, short day, they come back in the month of June, not before June, sometimes even in July or August. So you have to have a long season for them. This is a dahlia that I have in here, and you see all the little carrots. They're quite small. This is a spinach that's going to seed. That was part of the winter garden. And this is a cilantro that is going to seed. Got to think of next year. But this is okra. And after these items complete their seeding, and I gather the seed, except for what the bean is on. But the bean should be finished in like 2 to 4 weeks anyway, because it's a bush bean. This is my tansy lettuce that is going to seed. And there's another okra. So you can see I have, these are leeks that are growing in here. So there's a lot going on in this pot. The flowers that you see there are for 1 carrot, because carrot root is a pretty significant root, so it can support a lot of blooms. So there's a lot more going on in that pot than I care to dig into, because it's in transition. It's going from spring to summer. There's lettuce in there that are probably going to seed. Now I can still plant lettuce in the ground, but this pot is just too warm for spring and winter crops now. The only thing that can grow in this pot are summer crops. So this is a pot that's already fully matriculated in the summer. The star of the pot is my bay tree, sweet bay tree, and I showed you me fertilizing it. And if I want to pull back so you can see all the new growth, bay tree can grow really, really fast if you give it the nutrient to do so. So I'll probably have to root prune that this winter. Not that it ever goes dormant, but it's safer to do it in the winter when it's not growing so fast. That's all a result of me putting the nutrients in. All of this light growth happened in the last couple weeks. And at the bottom I've got, these are pole beans. As you can see, they're going all the way up. And these are Blue Lake pole beans. I decided to give those a try. Around the outside there, which I was hoping would grow down, but I don't know, this might grow up too. This is Space Master cucumber. And then I have the nasturtium. I know the nasturtium would go down. I really wanted this pot to not just be top heavy. I wanted something to come down the bottom of the pot. I don't know if I managed to do that or not. But if I haven't, I'll try again next year with something else. I like to season my food with celery, so I have in this pot everything I need to season. This is celery, and this is cumin. I had 2 cumin in here. I took one out, and I left one. It is the seed that you like in cumin, but the pot was just way too full, so I had to get something out of the pot. So I'll get some cumin from that, and that will be what I season my beans. Those will be the items that I season my beans with, you know, and of course with some sweet bay leaves. And for my salad, I will have the cucumbers. So there's no cucumbers on this side because the celery takes this side. And this celery is a biennial, so it won't flower until next year. Oh, you guys, the reason why the celery looks like this is because what I do is called cutting celery. I'm not interested in chopping down a celery head. I just chop a few of these. They are very strongly seasoned. They are not blanched, and they season my food very, very well. Lovely. You know, bush beans would do nice growing through this celery. The celery is a nice companion plant. All of the plants in this pot got pretty big, okay? These might be carrots or they may be cumin. I didn't put any carrots in this pot, but as you see, I do let my carrots go to seed, so who knows. And that's what we got going on in that pot. And we'll watch her grow. I have to keep fertilizing her so that everybody's well fed because, you know, it's a lot going on. So that's why I fertilize the way I do. Hey. My bay tree is bushing out and getting new leaves on it. I got beans and cucumbers growing in the bottom, along with some flowers and herbs and celery and carrots, all kind of stuff. So this plant is going to need more food. And I am using manure because herbs don't like things that are not organic. They like slow release. They want something they can understand. So I'm scooping that in there and piling it up. That's all I'm doing. I don't like to put my hands on manure, even though this is aged manure mixed with compost. It doesn't stink until you put water on it. I'm just going in here and dumping it on and creating a mound that will feed everything in this pot. I'm going to put 1 inch in there. I see you can't see it, but at least I told you. So here we are with the soil piled up there. And you can see, hopefully, move the bean here. You can see that I'm piling that soil up. That's called side dressing if something's in the ground. But because I have to put it on the roots of the plants, here it's not side dressing. And then they're growing out of there nicely, you know, so they're fertilizer because these are herbaceous plants. This celery is an herb. The beans and the cucumbers are a fruit, but they like manure and slow release as well. You know, we all know beans do not like for you to over fertilize them. They will not give you beans if you do that. So, and cucumbers are in the curcubat family, and they prefer manures to anything else. So Get you some well-aged manure that no longer stinks. The one I got is combined with compost. Let me show you that again so you can be sure. See, it says steer manure blend. It's a blend of steer manure and compost, which means it's much safer. It won't burn your plants. And you can grow cucurbits directly in this, you know, not other things, but pumpkins and squash and watermelons and melons, they can grow straight in this. It's not a problem. Jesus loves you, and I love you with all the Jesus in me. Be blessed, beautiful.